So what is the clinical interview and how it should look like? Generally, let's start here. Generally, structured interview is very important. Most physicians, most medical professionals generally, are using some kind of the semi-structured interview to address multiple aspects of individual cognitive, medical, social, and so on and so on. So generally, we need to ask for everything that is relevant. To say what is relevant depends on the situation and is generally not easy to tell. Yes, you need a lot of practice, a lot of experience to tell what is relevant in particular situation. However, from the perspective of pain medicine, we need to address couple things particularly. Yes, most of the things are general rules. Yes, but from the pain medicine perspective, we have a couple particulars. For example, very important is the psychological evaluation. So sometimes it's hard to tell whether the patient is in real pain or is in a very bad psychological condition and just exaggerates. Yes. So this psychological evaluation is important, is hard, is frequently imprecise, still is important. And this is because the pain is so subjective, yes? We have some ways of assessing it, but they are not perfect. Okay. Also, it's very important to assess the patient's sleeping patterns. One thing is that if the patient has real depression, the abnormalities of sleep are very common. Other thing is that sleep disorders are relatively objective. Yes, if patient has problems with sleep, patient will tell it. Yes, exactly what are the problems. Yes, whether he cannot fall asleep or can fall asleep but wakes up early in the morning, or have too much thoughts, or generally there are a lot of such things that are easier to objectivize and easier to ask. And also sleep may affect how the pain is perceived. Yes, if person is tired, if person cannot sleep, obviously the pain would seem worse. Okay, so obviously also we must ask about the pain itself. Yes, how long it is happening, how frequent it is, whether it's constant, whether some things are exaggerating this pain. So, for example, whether it's increasing during the exercises, during the daily activities, or not, or maybe it's getting smaller after some activity. The first movement is the worst, or just later is worse. Yes, when the patient is standing, it's worse, or laying. Yes. If the patient, if it's worse in the morning or in the evening or constant. Yes, there are a lot of such variables, a lot of questions about the pain that may lead us to better help the patient. Quite frequently, the daily functioning is also important. Yes, so whether the sleepiness is impairing the daily functioning, getting back to the sleep. And of course, because of the nature of the pain, sleep disorders in case of the patients in pain are relatively common, and sometimes the patient does not remember exactly how it is happening from night to night. Yes, so some diaries of daily sleep diaries, and generally some diaries about the pain also, may be useful thing for the patient to do in order to objectivize his or her beliefs. Okay, thank you. For the beginning is over.